Leesburg. So here we are at the end of December, at the end of 2024. Our theme for this year has been a grand rising. And our theme for the month of December is sticking the landing. Our title of our talk today is Expanding at the Top, and it will be given by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. We're so glad that you took some time out of your day today to join us. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations, please let us know in the chat. And Reverend Charlene will be sure to include them later in our service when we do our affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, because it all begins right here with the mind. So that's all I have to say to kick things off. You made it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our welcoming video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless the sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
You're noticing on the slide that Charlene has provided that after our service today, we are going to do our burning bowl ceremony. So we'll have meditation, music, Reverend Charlene will deliver the message, and then we'll do the burning bowl ceremony before we go into prayer and have some music yet again. So for the burning bowl ceremony, if you're new to this, here are the items that you're going to have handy when we get to that part of our service. So you need a bowl that's filled with water. That's very important because we're going to be using fire, and you want to be able to drop this item into the bowl of water so that we don't have any problems, any emergencies that happen. So have a bowl full of water, have a piece of paper and a pen, and have some source of fire. It could be matches, it could be a lighter, it could be a candle, but burning bowl ceremony, you're going to write a little something on this piece of paper, light it on fire, and then drop it into water. But Charlene's going to walk you all through that after our message today. So those are the items. At some point, keep us on so that you can hear us, but you need to gather up those items. So take one more look, a bowl with water, a piece of paper, a pen, and a fire source. So those are what you're going to need later on after our message today. Now that I've given you a to-do list, let's just sit back and do our meditation for today. And I was thinking, I always give some thought when I pick out our meditation for the day. And it's Christmas time, it's Hanukkah, and it's Kwanzaa, and so many other holidays are jam-packed into this time. And it's not a coincidence that it's a time of light, of celebration, when there is winter solstice and the world is dark, dark, dark. But now the light is starting to return, and we're going to celebrate with light. So I picked a meditation that allows you to focus on light, or maybe, like you just heard in our welcoming video, you'd like to pick one of the divine qualities that we hold up at CSL: truth, power, peace, life, and love. So you can pick one of those. What do you need the most? What do you need to remind yourself that you already have? What do you want to see more of in your life? And maybe truth. Maybe it's power, peace, life, love, or maybe in a time of festival lights, just light, divine light. So let's begin by taking a deep breath, holding it, and releasing it. And as you draw in your breath, just notice how that's nice and cool. And as you release, it's warm. And drawing in, holding, and releasing. And as you continue to take those deep breaths, just close your eyes and sink into a state of peace and relaxation. Just let ease wash over you. Perhaps you're enjoying this time between Christmas and New Year's, and everything kind of settles down and moves a little slower after all the hustle and bustle of the holidays. Or perhaps you're celebrating Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and there's still lots of things that are happening around you. But this meditation is a time to just go within, hit that pause button, and just let ease and peace pour over you. Now I'd like you to become aware of a beautiful, bright golden light that covers and surrounds you like a warm blanket, just pours over you. And this light is so familiar to you. It's nothing that's harsh or burning. It's just warm, welcoming, and oh, so familiar. Allow the golden light to enter your body from the top of your head. Then it just moves down to your neck and your shoulders, covers your arms and your elbows, your hands, the tips of your fingers. And then it continues down, down, down your hips, your legs, your calves, to the tip of your toes. And it flows throughout your body, flooding every single cell with beautiful, divine, loving light. And you can just feel it restoring, embracing, rejuvenating every cell in your body. It outshines any false beliefs that you've buried deep within. Any thoughts that there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough this, there's not enough that. Oh, it's just not possible to do everything that I want to do. No, that light just shines and shines and casts all those negative thoughts away. It dissolves them, just like when there's a dark room and you flip that switch, the lights come on and the darkness disappears. You know that everything is possible. The universe is abundant. You have everything that you need at just the right time. There's beauty, there's truth, there's light, there's love. Everything is good. You are blessed. You are loved. Doesn't that feel good? What we have to do every now and then, just hit that pause button and go into that meditative state of peace, ease, divine light, divine love. But now it's time to return. So slowly wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, shrug your shoulders, open your eyes, and join us as we listen to the music of Leah.
Thank you so much, Tamara. Open your heart to more, more love, more love, more love. Open your heart to more. Everybody's got room for more love. Everybody's got a room for more peace. Everybody's got room for a little more happiness and a bit of sweet relief. More light. More light. Open your heart to more, 'cause everybody's got a room for more love, and everybody's got room for more peace. Everybody's got room for a little more happiness and a bit of sweet relief. So I'm gonna sing it again. And maybe you'd like to sing with me. I'm gonna sing love, because you can't get enough of that. Boo, she froze. Boo. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Hold on. Let's give her a minute. Just hold that in your heart, that tune that she was playing. I'm still feeling it. I feel like Zoom will fix it in a minute. Oh, okay. Well, there she is. Come on. It was so good. We were so like,
Okay, well, we held the space for that tune.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, sis. Oh, so good. More. Now, I was taking notes as she was singing because the talk that I'm giving, and as I said earlier, this it's never a coincidence. The universe puts this together for us. But between Tamara's idea or her vision of us taking that light and bringing it down, it what we call that in science of mind tech speak is involution, where you take the divine and you involve it. It comes down and it lives through and as you. But guess what humans are meant to do all the time? Evolution. Evolve. So Leah was singing about everybody's got room for more. And then she listed up more love, more joy, more light. Everybody's got room for it because evolution always trends up. We always are evolving, even if it looks like we're going backwards. I will remind you of the caterpillar who must be convinced that life is ending because I'm melting, right? But we know because we're looking at that chrysalis and we're watching because science. And we know that what's going on looks like chaos, looks like a complete disassembly of all that we know. And it turns out, oh man, I was just becoming a butterfly. Never mind. We always evolve going up, but sometimes it is that chaos in which the new us is being made. So I just want to say at the end of this year, if you are feeling in the midst of some chaos and some confusion and some topsy-turvy, I don't know what's happening, I just want to give you a spoiler alert. You will be sticking the landing. You will be, because this is on purpose. And almost we say congratulations when someone's going through what seems to be so many disruptive experiences, just making their external world look crazy. We know that spiritually, we're right on track. So the topic today is expanding at the top. More, more, more. Everybody's got room for more because we are evolving up. So expanding at the top is actually a title that refers to Ernest Holmes. Just a side note, Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science about 100 years ago, they formalized it. Now, this was a guy he was just a guy interested in what was all around him, new thought, ancient wisdom. The rest of his compadres were trying to figure out, oh my gosh, the Far East traditions say the same thing as the African traditions. They say the same thing as the Christian tradition, which is saying the same things as the Buddhist tradition, which is saying the same things. And they figured out that there's an ancient wisdom, there's a golden thread flowing through all religions. And at the time, 100 years ago, Ernest Holmes was like, yeah, but religion, I mean, it's kind of a problem. I don't know if I want to start a religion. And the people around him said, look, we're going to need to write everything you're talking about. We're going to need to write it down, and we're going to need to formalize it, because look at your friends who also knew what you know and did not formalize the teaching died with them. But if we know you don't want structured religion, we'll do it. Just sit down and, give us some stuff. We'll figure it out. We'll put together a book. So he acquiesced, thank goodness. Because just a handful, him, Charles Fillmore, Mary Baker Eddy, a few of them started a few different traditions. But without these people starting something organized, we would have very little choice between the big dogmatic ones that we're all familiar with. So thank goodness, shout out to Ernie, Uncle Ernie. But I want to say, I mention him because he is known for one of his most important talks, which was, I think, in the 50s. All right, it was a while back. Again, trying to bring up details that I haven't written down. It's a habit of my own. But there is a talk he gave called the Sermon by the Sea. The Sermon by the Sea is referred to a lot of different times because in that he said, first of all, this is a teaching, but please don't stop with what I told you. Please don't limit everything to the book that you're creating. Sure, there's a Science of Mind textbook. Please don't treat it as a Bible, because when you do that, you kind of close it at the top. It's a closed system that does not grow. And we know what happens to closed systems that don't grow. Oh, you don't know what happens to closed systems that don't grow? It's called, what's that? It's that devolution. There's a term for it, entropy. It'll just break apart. It breaks apart. And I was listening to my favorite astrophysicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was talking about how they have a self-contained ecological ball in the basement or in the ground floor of the Natural American Museum of History in New York, where he works. And he said when they first made it 25 years ago, it was sealed and it had like 4 things. It had like water, snails, algae, and something else. And they all feed off of each other. They create their own closed system, so you would think. And it was in a sealed, hermetic, I suppose, which means nothing, no air can get in, no water can get, it's sealed. It's a sealed environment. And so the engineers who saw this and put it in place thought, oh my gosh, well, this is pretty delicate. Let's put a tarp over it. Let's put a tarp over it. And that's when the other people in the room talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson, they all said, no! Why can't they put a tarp over it? My dears, because it needs sunlight. The sunlight is what the plankton needs to create the photosynthesis, which will feed the rest of the system. Without the sunlight, everything will devolve, everything will entropy. It would not be around for 25 years. You cannot have a closed system that has no infusion of light and hope to live. I'm just thinking, wow, that's another perfect example of how even Ernest Holmes knew back when this tradition was, being more formal. He knew, don't close it up. Don't close it up. There's going to be new ideas, new thoughts, new movement, evolution of the human spirit is going to happen. We don't want to be that tradition that says, no, if it's not in the book, it's not true. If it's not already mentioned, then it doesn't exist. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. We are open at the top. That was one of the first things in this talk by the Sermon by the Sea. Second thing he said, evolution is always forward. Even though it might feel like it goes backwards sometimes because of some of the outpicturing of thoughts that aren't for the highest good. Sure, there'll be some selfish people that try to steer the truck to their own lane, but the universe is on a trajectory of evolution, always upward. Always upward. And then the other thing he said, we are to be for something and against nothing, which is definitely what we want to talk about today. For something and against nothing means, yes, you could go marching on the streets and demand, you could have a big fight against the war, against the thing you don't want. But since we know how the universe works, the universe gives us more of what we're paying attention to. So if we are so busy describing in detail what we don't want and holding on to the thoughts of what we don't want, you know what we're going to get? More of that. Because if we don't stop focusing on what we don't want, look at it long enough to say, hold on, turn around for a sec. Just a sec, taking notes. Notes. Okay, can I see you from the side? Profile picture, got it. Notes. Okay, you're good, you may leave. Do not then take that thing that you don't want and then attach to it and try to change it and hope that your love will change it. It's now becoming biographical. Sorry. The point is, if your inners are saying, no, this is not for us, we have something else to do, something higher, then let's listen to that and let's let go of the lower thing to make room for the higher thing. Which is why at the end of my talk, we will be writing down just a few little sentences that mention what it is we want to let go of. We will be burning that piece of paper and dropping it into a bowl of water because we want to let go of what it is we do not want in our lives, so that we can turn our attention fully formed toward that which we do want. And then we go toward it with full fever, full effect, with the joy and the energy and the pre-gratitude. Not, I'll be thankful once I get it. No, we start with the gratitude that we're going to feel when it is evident, when that thing has materialized. We start there because that is the blueprint that we're building. We're building a blueprint in our energy, in our emotions, in our mind, in our spirit, and we're becoming more familiar with what we do want. We know what it tastes like. We know what it smells like. We know what it feels like. We know the joy that is embodied in that idea of what it is we do want. We know that much more intimately than we are paying attention to the thing we don't want. We become more what we do want energetically, and then it kind of can't help but find its way to us. It really is the secret behind all of the prayers that we do. When we take our mind and we say, I guess my thoughts got me here so far. Everything I've always thought got me here so far. But if I don't want this to also be my future, if my past is likely to become my future unless I change something, then let me just kind of choose which things I want to change. And then the cool part about it is that being open at the top means you're curious and you don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know. It's really cool to say, well, I'm super happy, and somebody says, why? And you go, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't know why I'm happy. It's going to be fun to figure it out. Like, let the happiness cause the reason to be happy. It sounds weird, but I know you're following me. You know how you're happy for no reason, and then because you have that light shining around you, something happens. Somebody comes up and says, you know what, you exactly the energy that I was thinking of when I thought about this thing, and you would be perfect for this thing, because you embodied that energy before you had a reason to, and then the reason found you. This is what the teaching tells us. So we move from this consciousness of life's happening to me to life is happening by me, because I'm getting to change my focus of attention and I'm moving toward it, and things I'm the captain of the ship. And then you start to getting life happening through me, where you just, let's say it's love, where you go from life happens to me, I wish people would love me, to life happens by me, which is I'm just gonna go places and I'm gonna give love. I'm gonna give love, whether it's a smile, a handshake, I'm gonna give this love thing that I want, which is already life-changing. And you could stop there and be quite happy with your whole life. But what if you were to just be the love? Just show up and radiate love wherever you went. You would change your room and people probably wouldn't even know why. I'm like, I feel kind of, I don't know, happy. I don't know why. Oh, there's Shar, hey. Like, you'll change the energy in the room because you chose to vibrate at the frequency of love as opposed to giving things. So there's just levels, and we can move from the I wish I had it to the, well, I guess I can give it if I want to receive it, to why don't I just be the channel for it? Then it becomes just like you are just moving through life in a whole other pace. So the other thing, because we're trying to create a life that we want to live, we're creating a life that we want to be excited about, what we're doing is we're creating outcomes that don't necessarily have to have happened before. So hear me out. Here's the thing. A lot of people, when they sit down and they say, well, I guess I'm going to be doing some vision board. We're going to do that next week. But what do I want? And then they think about something and go, no, how would I get that? Doesn't make any sense. We're confused with trying to control the how. It's normal. I remember thinking, oh, I know I want my company to be abundant. I'm going to get these contracts with the government. I was trying to tell the universe how to bring me my abundance. Because in my mind, Well, that's how companies get wealthy. That's how they become, right? With contract. Turns out, ugh, like I really tried. I did all the things they told me to do. Everything felt so ugh. From the proposal process to the negotiating process to the, it just seemed like, and there were people that thrive in it. There's a whole person I met that loves litigating reasons why she didn't win, and that's how she gets money. She just litigates her way to government contracts that she should have won. No, no shade to her. She's a lawyer type person who loves litigation. That steals my soul. If I think about I will get my good by arguing with everybody and fighting for, I mean, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I realized, oh, so when I put out my ideas for my highest good, I also said how. That's my problem. That's why I had there was kind of a friction. And so now I learned. I said, okay, the universe is always saying yes. And it's just that approach would have been a slog for me, my energy. It would have been a slog. Maybe I could take away the requirement that it has to be government contracts and remove that and just be like, okay, universe, just use me. Here's what I got. I'm kind of crazy, kind of wild, kind of hyper, but I love technology and I can explain it really easy. I love to have fun, love music, love to dance. And then there I was that next year giving whole thousands of people training on IT with music involved, laughing, games, and learning. I mean, you're going to pass that test, and then they're on LinkedIn. I passed the test. I wouldn't have done it without you. And on the chat, what are you drinking? Where do you get your energy? Can I have some of that energy? It turns out you've got to stay in your lane and you've got to vibrate at the level that you are attracted to. You cannot, and I know this for me, I cannot think that it's going to look for me like it looks for them. So the point of this is that when we put together our vision, we cannot try to say, and it has to have happened before. Stop it. There's a saying in Science of Mind that says, principle is not bound by precedent. Principle is not bound by precedent. Now, if you think about what are the principles, remember what Leo was singing about: more love, more light, more joy, more abundance, the highest in all of us, that which every human being strives for. We call them the virtues if you're Platonic, if you study Plato. That's principle. We know that the universe is built upon principle, the highest. And then, yeah, humans tend to do what we want, and then we learn our lessons. That's why we came here to play. Principle can express itself even though it never happened on Earth before. Reference every single miracle and every single scientific discovery and every single startup that came up with something new. It doesn't have to have happened before to happen now. So we don't have to have that. So now when we're thinking about what is there for me, what's available for me, little old me, don't think about how, and don't think about nobody has ever done that before. That's gone and that's gone. So now we get to play. What is the highest for you in your life? What can come through you? And then how can we use it to free other people, to be that example? Because there has to be an element. In my little experiments, I always choose something that has a higher element of giving something to other people. Teaching, giving, helping, somehow assisting, serving. That's my thing. That's why I'm here. And later, in dream study, I'll show you about, there was a dream I had last night that was hilarious. And the title of the dream is, her name is Teacher. Or Educator. Yeah, her name is Teacher. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's cute. Finally, letting go of the fear and letting go of attachment to what we don't want is the order of the day. So if I've convinced you that maybe it is a good idea to make some space in your life, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, make some space for what it is you do want, then maybe there will be some miracles coming, bounding through, because there'll be a space for them. So let us take a moment And in this moment, what I want you to do is grab your piece of paper, whatever was coming up in your head. I need you to think of 3. 3 is always a beautiful number. What are 3 ideas about yourself that you would love to just let go of? These would be limiting ideas that you might have heard when you were younger. You might have heard them as you were coming through our structured society. 3 ideas about you that, you beg to differ. This is not my truth anymore. Go ahead and write these things down. Couple more seconds. So 3 things about you that you'd like to let go of. That just you're ready for that not to be your truth anymore. It could be that you think that you have to work hard to get somewhere. You think you might have to earn the love, the attention, the care that you really want. So these 3 things that you're going to let go of about yourself. And then I would like you to put 1 or more if you've got some people might just be scribbling down, I've got a lot of things I want to let go of. What kind of relationship are you going to let go of? Now, I'm not saying let go of the person. I'm saying the kind of relationship, the feel between you and some person that you'd like to let go of. And I'm going to let you know you can change that relationship without touching that other person, without removing them from your life, and without forcing them to change. Just by letting go of that aspect of that relationship, you open the door for finer things to come through, higher purposes to come through. So for me, I'll just write down the quality. I'll just put the tug of war. For me, it's tug of war slash, what's it called when you struggle, opinion struggle, that kind of thing. What if that weren't even there anymore? All right, the last thing I want you to write down is, it's kind of interesting. So what aspect of your work, if you have work at this time, or if you would like to have work, what aspect of your work would you like to let go of? And for me, in that government contract thing, I would write, I want to let go of struggling to win contracts. That's kind of annoying. In fact, I'm going to still write that down because it's still struggle. Do I need to struggle? So whatever you're working with, it could be health, it could be finding a place to live, whatever that is that you think is a struggle, write that down. Now, sorry for the background noise. I'm sure that came through very loud. Sorry. Take this piece of paper with stuff written. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in a way that the fire can't come up and grab me through the middle. Oh, look at that. All right, good. Now, so I did it tight like this because I learned last time when I fold it, a little air gets created and then it comes running through and I'm like, whoa, hello, like a little chimney. All right, now grab your fire source. I've got a match. And what we're going to do is we're going to say in our minds, I consciously release what needs to be released, and I welcome with full embrace the newness that I prayed for and that I richly deserve. I'll mention it again as I light this match. Okay, I know. All right. I consciously release what needs to be released, and I welcome with a full embrace the newness I've prayed for and that I so richly deserve. Consciously release what needs to be released. And I hope that the fire alarm, I'm going to go ahead and drop this because it's going to be like woot woot, and that won't be good for the prayer. So holding that now, just smell the debris, the ossification. I don't even know if that's a word. The release of the energy that was bound. That is the energy that was binding our attention. And let's just go into prayer, letting that aroma of dissolved issues power our space. So in this prayer, as I turn within, I am consciously aware that there's one unifying presence. There's one divine energy. There's a 0 point field of consciousness from whence all of us came. This unifying field is infinitely possible, has infinite possibilities in it. It's infinitely able to do things, to shape in any way that we can think of, any way that we haven't even fathomed. This infinite consciousness is in and as each and every one of us right now. Wild. This infinite source from whence we all came, that's where we also currently live. That's who we currently are. We are connected in this energy field of oneness. And yes, we have individuated. Yes, we've become personalities. But the truth about us is that we are one in this field. And so in this awareness of our oneness, knowing we don't have to go far to find our source, we simply turn within and know we are sourced by the infinite source. That in this infinite source, there's infinite possibilities. And that in this infinite level of possibilities, there's all we could ever need for the life that we desire to live. And we know that we become in harmony with this presence. We harmonize with it. We become attuned to it so that we can more quickly, more fully bring forth what it is we desire. Because what we desire for ourselves will be a blessing to all who come in contact with us. And that is the goal, that we can reach higher levels of evolution and provide a blueprint and a way to help those who also want to vibrate at that level. And it is just a simple chain of human consciousness working together with divine consciousness that's unfolding itself, always evolving, always moving upwards, because we always have room for higher. So in this energy, I speak my word for any of us that are going through anything in this time, acknowledging truly there are experiences, painful experiences. There's war, there's rumors of war, there's ways in which people appear unhealthy, unwhole. There's ways in which dis-ease has entered into lives, and we don't want to turn a blind eye to that. Instead, we turn compassionate, loving attention to that, knowing that we hold each situation in our hearts so that the love that we can bring through us helps heal that situation, and also creates more community, more connection, higher purpose among us. That's why we go through these things. So I speak my word for Julie's uncle, Robert McFadden, who passed on this date. And we just know that Robert, wherever Robert is right now on his journey to the next, whatever is yet to be on the other side of the veil, Robert is also still experiencing wholeness and joy and all of the divine truths, all of the principles that we discussed. And so I simply rest in the knowing that all is well, knowing that what has happened here is divinely ordered and all is unfolding perfectly for this community and beyond. I simply say thank you, life. Thank you, divine. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
Let it be. Thank you, Reverend Shar. This is a song by Peter Mayer. We have been weighed down by life just like a stone. Sometimes we've yearned. We have yearned. And we have sometimes felt so utterly alone. While we turn, while we turn, we've been stricken by the wonder of it all. Stricken down, stricken down. And we have sometimes felt so faint we want to fall. Overcome, but all in all, I'd say this year at Fly Together has been fun. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. We have raised our fists in anger and we've tried to work it out, to work it out. Oh, but we need each other, no one can deny. There is no doubt, there is no doubt. So let us weave another dream in outer space while we are turning, while we're turning on this planet home that holds our human race. Still we are learning, but oh no, I'd say this year at Fly Together has been fun. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. Say this year and Fly Together has been a real good one. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. Around the sun.
Wow, that was a wonderful song. Thank you so much, Leah, and thank you, Reverend Charlene, for the message. And the burning bowl ceremony always feels so good. Got an opportunity to reflect on that ceremony over the years and what I've been able to let go as a result. All right, folks, now is the time that we bless the donations that come in to CSL Leesburg, and we provide a little reminder that what you give you shall receive. This is something that we say in our opening video, and it's something that we always believe as well. There are many ways for you to give. Odds are you've found a way that works for you. And as we draw to the end of 2024, you might be thinking about what else can I do to get a little extra donation out to organizations. And you might want to consider CSL Leesburg or our home organization or any organization that supports our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. No matter how you are giving, we thank you so much. We can't do what we do unless we have your support, and we always know that we are blessed. So, with that thought in mind, join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of Spirit within me, bless everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and in the day in which I live. And so it is. All right, folks, announcements. So next Sunday after service, it's a new year, right? January 5th. Oh my goodness, we're going to do our vision board session. So please join us. You might want to use this week to think about, what do you, now that you've said goodbye to some things that you don't want to bring into the new year, what would you like to create? What would you like to manifest in the new year? And our wonderful Reverend Melinda will be leading our ceremony. And after the service, we'll create a vision board. And there's so many different ways that you could do this. If you feel a little bit artistic, you don't have to be the best artist in the world, but you can grab some colored pencils or markers, crayons if you want, watercolor, and you can create this as something that is tangible in front of you on paper or canvas, or you can do this digitally as well. So you can do it however, which way works for you, but that will be after the service. And I'm getting a little something in the chat that there's going to be something called Mind Movies. I can't wait to hear. Charlie, jump in. Tell me something.
It'll be a video. Yeah, so you'll get to do a video if you want to by picking different video shorts of things you want to experience. You'll put words across the video. You will speak your voice into it with affirmations. And I don't know, I kind of want Leah's song that she just sang. I want that behind my movie. Another Trip Around the Sun? Are you kidding? I want that song. Anyway.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, Mind Movies, a possibility. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay, wonderful. So mark your calendars. That is happening next Sunday on January the 5th after our service. How exciting. And Dream Study always is happening. If you're curious, you heard Charlene mention she had a really interesting dream, something about being called teacher, piqued my curiosity. So Dream Study meets on alternating, let's try that. Alternating Saturdays at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the next one will be on January 11th, 2025. How exciting. Let's see what else. I think that's all we have for now. So let's do our closing affirmation after a little reminder of pearls. So if there's something that really resonated with you from our meditation, our music, our message, or you just want to hang out with us, that's what we do after service. We kind of hang out, we talk, we share sometimes books that we're reading, movies that we're watching, TV shows that we're enjoying, talk about what's happening in our lives. Maybe you want to share something that's been going on in your life over the holidays. That's what we do. And we just call this pearls. Because they're those little nuggets, those wonderful gems that we have. So we welcome you. We invite you to hang out with us for a little bit. Maybe you want to talk about the burning bowls ceremony too, and what that meant for you. If you can't stay, then know that we send you off with our blessings and our love after we do this closing affirmation. So put your hands over your heart, give yourself a big hug. Oh, you did it. You made it through 2024. Join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
Ooh, now think of someone that you want to send this message to. Could be somebody in the room with you. It can be a furry friend. It can be family. It can be a companion, a loved one. Or I'm a big believer in this. We can send this out over the miles. You can send this to whomever you desire. Let's send that message out now. Ready? You are love.
You are love.
Beautiful. And now put your hands up in the air, something that we call love sprinkles. Here we go. Remind yourself, it's all love.
All love.
Yay. Thank you. See, it travels across the miles, folks. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you can, please stay. If you can't, know that we send you off with our love, with our blessings, and we'll see you again soon. And that's